Chapter 1. You are listening at FameTV.info. Chapter 1. Traveling into the Future Translator. Dragon Boat Translation Editor. Dragon Boat Translation Lin Xiu was one of the many nerds who was unemployed after graduation. As he was in a gloomy mood that day, he played League of Heroes and abused the other party. But when he left the game, a window popped up. Are you tired of reality? Do you really want to live? Lin Xiu was somewhat speechless. These games always relied on this sort of advertisement to attract people's attention. The person who created this pop-up must have read too many novels. Just as Lin Xiu was about to close the window, he realized that there wasn't a close button or an option to cancel. There was only a yes button. Lin Xiu furrowed his brows and instinctively clicked on the yes button. Right at that moment, the computer flashed. Did he get a virus? Lin Xiu was stunned. Just as he was about to do something, there was a loud bang and his computer exploded in an instant. After an indeterminate amount of time, when Lin Xiu opened his eyes again, his surroundings seemed to have changed. Where is this place? He held his head and sat up. Lin Xiu shook his head and his hazy sight suddenly became clear. This was a dormitory similar to a 4-people dormitory in university. However, the place looked like it was installed with high-tech stuff, and there was a giant screen on the wall in front of him. At this moment, he felt like there were many pieces of memories appearing in his mind. Time traveled. With the information in his head, Lin Xiu didn't know whether to laugh or cry. That's right, he had indeed traveled in time and gone into the future, year 2666. The sudden invasion of extraterrestrial life was a devastating blow for mankind on Earth, who were caught off guard. After hundreds of years of war, the countries on Earth formed federations and used nuclear weapons to finally wipe out those aliens, but the virus, code-named X, brought by extraterrestrial creatures had engulfed the globe. Infected people became zombies, while infected animals turned into terrifying monsters. However, there were some people who didn't turn into zombies. Their bodies instead evolved and became stronger and faster. This particular group of people was known as warriors. 30 years had gone by, and Earth had already become a world dominated by warriors. Powerful warriors, combined with weapons made of special metals accumulated from other planets, could kill a giant mutated monster that couldn't even be killed with a missile. However, right now, Lin Xiu felt like weeping but had no tears. The owner of this body he possessed was ranked at the top in school intellectually. Unfortunately, he was simply lacking in strength and talent and wasn't even as good as ordinary humans. Moreover, his parents had passed away, and if not for his parents' inheritance, he wouldn't be able to study here. What a waste of this handsome face. He's actually a good nothing. Lin Xiu stood in front of the mirror and pinched his face. What was more surprising was that the owner of this body was also called Lin Xiu. Such a coincidence. There's even cockroaches here. After standing in front of the mirror for a while, Lin Xiu had no choice but to accept the current reality that he suddenly saw a black thing near his feet, and when he took a closer look, it was actually a huge cockroach. It was way bigger than any cockroaches he had ever seen before. Lin Xiu stepped on it instinctively and immediately squashed it. Ding! Congratulations, Master, on killing one mutated cockroach. You've gained 1 experience point. Congratulations, Master, on leveling up. You're currently at level 1 and have gained 1 potential point. What? What is it that's talking? Lin Xiu was stunned. He then looked around, but there wasn't anything near him. Wait a minute, this voice sounded like it came from my head. Right then, everything before Lin Xiu turned black and he felt like he was in his mind. Suddenly, there was a frame on top. Host. Lin Xiu level 1 experience. 100 experience required for the next level. Strength 35, physique 33, speed 32. Note: an average person scores at least 38 for each segment. Skill: an analytic average build. Up 0/100 overall combat strength 250-inch system. Lin Xiu's mouth was wide open. He then burst into laughter. It seemed like there was still preferential treatment for a transmigrator like him. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to survive in this world for sure. But what's with this overall combat strength of only 250? As Lin Xiu had just leveled up, he gained a potential point and added this point to his strength without hesitation. Just then, Lin Xiu felt a slight increase in strength in his arms, but this didn't make a huge difference. It seemed like he still needed to kill a few more cockroaches. But were there any more cockroaches in this dormitory? All of a sudden, there was a loud bang. And the door was kicked open. A few guys stood at the door laughing. The one standing right in front was a tall and bulky guy called Ma Chang, and behind him were Zhang Dong and Chen Li. They lived in this dormitory as well and were considered dormitory mates. But actually, the former Lin Xiu had always been bullied by them. He had to clean the floor, wash the clothes, and much more. Whenever they were in a bad mood, they would use Lin Xiu as a punching bag to vent. Hurry up, Lin Xiu. Clean up the mud on my shoe. Ma Chang entered, took a sip of water, and said to Lin Xiu, "What? If you're not coming over, your father will press your head into the toilet bowl." Ma Chang threatened when he saw Lin Xiu standing there, staring at him in anger. Get lost. Lin Xiu was no longer that weak person from before. Looking at Ma Chang and the others, a burning flame of anger rose in his heart and he yelled. Ma Chang and the others were stunned when they heard him yell. Lin Xiu would always obey them. They didn't expect that he would actually scold them this time, courting death. Ma Chang charged forward and kicked him in the stomach directly. He moved very swiftly and Lin Xiu didn't have time to react at all. There was a loud bang and Lin Xiu was sent flying as he slammed into the wall behind. A sharp pain shot through his heart. Analytic eye is activated. Character: Ma Chang, beginner, warrior strength 55, physique 45, speed 47, overall combat strength 480. Right at that moment, an ice-cold voice came from his head while Lin Xiu was covering his sore abdomen. He suddenly recalled the skill he had seen just now. Analytic eye, this should be the skill that allowed him to analyze these people's abilities. Damn, this Ma Chang's combat strength was about 200 more than his. Lin Xiu wasn't his match at all. How dare you scold me? Ma Chang walked over and continued kicking Lin Xiu. Tisk, how shameless. Zhang Dong and Chen Li walked over as well and began punching and kicking Lin Xiu, who was on the ground. They were the lowest ranking warriors in the academy and could only bully Lin Xiu to make themselves feel relevant. Lin Xiu hugged his head and got up. His fist was balled tightly. A ray of ferocious light glinted in his eyes. Become stronger, I must become stronger. During this time, the number on the rage build up icon in his head kept increasing. It was about to hit 100%. Listen to the full novel at FameTV.info, direct link in the description.